Thanks for tuning in to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. Here you'll find tips, insight, and information to help your music and your ministry succeed. Whether you're a singer, a musician, or a songwriter, we want to help you where you are, but we also want to help you get to where you want to go. We believe that our talents are God's gift to us, but what we do with those are our gift back to God. Yesterday's information is important, but what we can learn today will make this the best day yet. Hey everybody, Rob Novell here. We are back for another episode of the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. It is officially November now, which is crazy. And lots of things coming up. I know we're all prepping for the holidays and different things. And I'm excited about our guest today because we're specifically going to talk about something that is going to be a Christmas event that you all need. If you're anywhere near this event, you need to get out to it, support the cause of this event. But it's going to be a great night full of a lot of great talent and festive holiday seasonal entertainment. And so we have got one of our own CNS staff members here today, and she is a vital part of what we do, and I'm excited to have her here. She recently celebrated a birthday, her 217th.
At least. At least. I'll be the oldest woman singing Christmas songs ever recorded.
Well, you were there, Mary Anne, on that starlit night, so it's only fitting that you, Sarah.
Well, my name is Mary.
It is. So we totally flew right by the introduction, Mary Anne. Everybody, we have Mary Anne Oglesby Sutherly with us today. Mary Anne, you've already talked, but say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm just defending my honor. What little's left?
Offending or defending?
Yeah.
You know what, Mary Anne, I've come to realize something recently. Every time you make a response, you tag about 10 people.
Yeah, I want them to see my answers.
Exactly. That's what I've come to understand. You want them to see your answer.
I can take care of myself, like your gray hair that day. I couldn't help it.
What?
It was shining like the Eastern Star. Speaking of Christmas, it was just your whole left side of your head was white. I just wanted to go.
I went and got a haircut the other day, and I don't know what they did to me. But
well,
Mary
they
Anne,
cut the dark off and left the white. I can tell you what happened. They left the white.
Well,
I'm Grecian 44.
I'm not ready for this. But listen, I have hair.
I know you do have hair. You have lots of hair. It's just turning gray.
All right.
White.
That is not why we're here.
Okay.
We've talked about this before, but you run an amazing ministry there in Nashville, the Veranda. And just quickly share with everybody what the Veranda is, what you do on a daily basis, what you're privileged to do
the truth
on a daily basis. Share with them.
Well, we have a program for people living with dementia that is called the Veranda. It's a program of Veranda Ministries. And so we take care of people's loved ones during the day, during the week, give them a little respite time. And we just love on them, take care of them. We do lots of music, games, fun stuff. And then today, actually, it's funny you should say, what do we do? What do I do? This morning, I spent an hour or so at the hospital with one of our clients that is passing away. He's already transitioned and probably will see Jesus before this day is over. And when I walked in the room, it was just he and I.
Wow.
And after a couple of years at the Veranda, he moved here from Florida, and his family started coming to our church because they couldn't go to church anywhere else because Mr. Harry had Alzheimer's, and they were, well, I want you to know, probably one of the best compliments ever was on his deathbed, he looked at his brother and said, rolled over and said, I finally found me a church. Because there
Wow.
wasn't anywhere for him to go anymore, because you can't just, in most churches they won't let you bring people in with dementia.
Right.
And families feel weird, but at our church it's just second nature, because it's part of who we are. But it
So
was the greatest compliment that
absolutely.
that he would tell his brother on his deathbed, I finally found me a church.
Praise God. Praise
I
God.
know.
So I've been to the church several times. So do a lot of your clients there at the Veranda attend the church?
Some do. Yeah, some
Okay.
you probably didn't even know had dementia,
Yeah.
because it's small and it's not overpowering, and it's
Right.
but we've had several people. Oh yeah, we had a little lady one day. It was funny. She said well, I won't tell you who it was preaching, but he said, "Well, I've got to hurry up." And he kept on talking, and she goes, "Does he even know what hurry up means?" And I said, "Yes, he does." But we all laughed because we knew it. We knew it was dementia. It
Right.
didn't even offend him. It
Right.
was just, it's just who we are, and we roll with the flow. And that's how we are at the Veranda. It doesn't matter what they say or what they do. We love them, and they're sick and they wouldn't do that, but they do love the Lord. And I believe that God looks down upon them and gives them special grace, and he still allows them to believe in him. Mr. Harry is living proof. They love music. We've
Right.
got, we have a little lady, Devin, at the school. We put a video on of her singing, Miss Mabel. It's
Right.
got like almost 20,000 views on a little lady with Alzheimer's singing, "Oh, How I Love Jesus." It's just,
That's so precious.
it is precious. Might be us one of these days. We need to think about that.
Well, you're exactly right, Marianne. You're exactly right. I remember, and I know this isn't, and I'm sidestepping a second. We'll come right back. I know the Veranda isn't a nursing home or a facility like that. However, I remember growing up, and I didn't know until my early adult life. Dad actually told me. We he would, as worship pastor at the church I was growing up in my youth group years, he would take us a lot to the nursing homes as the youth choir to
Right.
sing for the residents. And I thought, we were just going to minister to those people, which we were. But
Mhm.
come to find out, he shared with me later, his dad, my grandfather, was in a nursing home in Pulaski, Virginia. And we were 7 hours away. So
Mhm.
what dad was doing was paying back to the family
Right.
members there in our community,
Right.
standing in the gap where people were going in and ministering to his dad. And,
Right.
what a just, awesome opportunity that you have to pour in to our seniors, and especially dealing with what they're dealing with. And
Right.
I speak on this real quick, because, and I know you could do it for a while, but talk about, we are a school of music, we are a podcast, we've got some special things to talk about today, but we do talk, we're a school of music, we teach music. Talk real
Right.
quick about the power of music in your situation with your people at the Veranda.
Well, people think that people living with dementia cannot function in this real world, yet they can remember lyrics to a song probably better than you and I.
Right.
Mabel is a living proof. Mabel can sing all four verses with full blown Alzheimer's.
Wow.
I mean, I can't sing most hymns all four verses. Some
Sure.
I can, but I mean, she can just literally let them roll out. And so she loves it. So we have another video coming out of her and Lauren Talley singing together. So Lauren's singing
Oh,
alto with Miss. It's just, but to be honest, I did a conference out of state Friday, and one of the ladies there knew that I had a program in the church. And so I was talking about dementia, but um, we talked about music and how music is stored on the right hand side where rhythm is, and poetry and all those things. God gave us the ability to remember lyrics and poetry and psalms and music until almost the day we die,
wow.
almost to the day we die. So there's a hope in learning those old hymns and those songs.
Right.
So at this conference, there was a lady asked me, would I come to the nursing home that she works at? And I went, sure. And so it was not nicest nursing home in that city. Actually, it was probably one of the worst.
Right.
And she said, "You may not want to come." I said, "Oh, no, 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 no. You don't know me. I
Right.
do want to come."
Right.
And so after speaking twice at a conference, I was tired, but I thought, you know what? There's a reason God wants me to go over there in the middle of the afternoon. And we walked in and they were playing bingo, and they're in a nursing home. So there was some in jerry chairs, some in just sitting there, didn't know where they were, things like that, just a typical nursing home. And she had told me that sometimes mice run across the floor. And I said, "Now listen, honey, I hate mice. I'm telling you, you'll get some really good singing if a mouse runs across my foot. Now I'm just telling you." But all of them were sitting there and they were playing, and then we started singing, and we started singing Christmas music. And I always start with Jingle Bells because the rhythm of it's fun, and they love the yay,
Right.
So, but by the time we finished, they were calling out hymns. Would you sing this? Would you sing that? Would you sing them? We didn't have a piano. We had nothing. It just set me and them. And I want you to know everybody was coming in to the room looking like, how come they're singing so loud?
Wow.
And it's just like, and the lady called me over at the end. She was in a jerry chair, which is because she can't walk anymore. And she said, "Can I tell you something? I sang in First Baptist choir for 45 years. And then this doctor did surgery on me here, and now it messed up my vocal cords." She said, "But I can still call a hymn." So she knew what call a hymn meant.
Right.
And she said, "And I know all the words." I said, "I've been watching you." Even though she could not sing, she would say the words. And I thought, wow, have we missed it in church? If we don't like the song, we just don't sing and get mad and make our faces and carry on. Here, she wanted to sing so bad, so all she knew to do was just say the words, speak the words.
Wow.
And that's what she did to and she'd call out those songs. And we had a little gentleman that said, "I write songs." I said, "You do?" And he said, "Yeah." So he was just saying everything, but boy, he meant every word of it. So when I left there, I just thought, thank you, Lord. It could be me. There go, except by grace of God, there go I one of these days. Could be me in one of those nursing homes, and no one. It smelled terrible. It just wasn't a very pleasant place to be, yet God still abides there. And when he says sing, by cracky, the whole room sang.
Wow.
And they clap, could keep rhythm. They can keep rhythm better than some choirs I know. So, they it was just a great time. So I'm thankful for what I get to do. It's truly more than just caring for people with dementia. It's meeting all kinds of needs with people with dementia. But most of it has to do with their walk with the Lord and how churches, they're not comfortable in churches anymore. And so, hey, we have church on Thursdays at the Veranda, and we have people come and sing, and people just stop by and play. Jeff Stice, Lord, he loved Rosie, and Rosie called him the piano man. That's how he got the name the piano man. She goes, "Where's that piano man?" And honey, she'd sit beside him and he'd talk to her, and she'd just smile. She didn't have tooth in her head, and she'd just smile at him like he was her own flesh and blood, So
that's so awesome.
Hey, you do it unto the least of these doesn't mean it's always just children.
That's right.
The least of these is a whole bunch of people.
That's right.
Different types of people.
So you're talking on how music just allows us to connect.
It does. It's a connection.
And it takes us back. I've seen it in some memory care units where just almost no response, just a stare.
Yeah.
You get into songs and then I look up and they're clapping and singing, and I'm like,
I know, it's amazing.
You mentioned the rhythm thing. So we had our regional in Ohio, Cincinnati last week. And while I was up there, I taught my students here in Atlanta virtually from the old music store that I started teaching at when I was a junior in high school in Ohio. And I had contacted the owner. He allowed me to come in and teach. He gave me a room to teach, and it was the old room that I used to teach in. And I remember while I was in teaching a lesson, I had a 78-year-old lady showed up one night to start piano lessons, and she come in, and she sat down, and I said, her name was Ethel. I said, "Ethel, what do you want? What are you wanting to get out of this?" And she said, "Well, I want to be a church pianist, but I need to tell you two things." I said, "Well, what's that, Miss Ethel?" And She said, well, I read a little bit of music and I have a tempo problem. I said, well, congratulations, Ethel. You just graduated. You're a church pianist.
That's the truth.
Little bit of music and has a rhythm problem. Okay. So you shared a little bit about what you get to do and the privilege of working with these amazing people on a daily basis. So you do some different events during the year, but am I correct? Is this maybe the big fundraiser for the year?
It is.
Okay.
This is our 11th, 12th. I can't remember. I think the poster
11th
says 11th,
annual.
but I think it's 12. I think we goofed up on that one. But anyway, nonetheless, it is our biggest fundraiser of the year for the Veranda. And we do charge a fee for the clients to come, but it's not very much.
Right.
And so this actually is the operating money that we use out throughout the year is our Christmas event. It's called Christmas to Remember. And sometimes our families are there depending on their loved ones, how far along they are in the disease. Sometimes the families come afterwards, but we have great artists that come and we do Christmas music. We may do a hymn, or two, but for the most part, it's all Christmas music. We have a huge silent auction and coffee and wassail. It's a grand event, and it's in Gallatin at Three Oaks Church. And so we just have a great time that night. And you're coming, and this is the first year. This is the first year we've had this. Second year, I think we had the event. We had like two people play, two or three. Steve Hurst played, and let's see who else. I can't remember. Roger Talley and Larry Buchanan. Those were the three that played. This year, it's going to be you, and it's going to be Jeff Duffield. It's going to be Josh Singletary. And it's supposed to have been Roger Talley, but Roger's not good. I don't know I think it's, I don't know. Jeff's got somebody else to do the fourth one, but Roger had a conflicting thing that we didn't know about until everything went out. So we're going to miss him, but I can't remember who else is coming for that part. That's up to Jeff.
Yeah, so this says new this year, Carol of the Keys.
Carol of the Keys. I was trying to think of something. The word pianorama gets on my nerves sometimes. So I was trying to think, but I thought, because we may be playing Carol of the Bells. So I thought, well, we'll take off of that and call Carol of the Keys. And we did it that year, and the crowd, people don't get to hear piano much anymore.
Right.
So they love it. And Josh is going to play a new single off his I'm not going to tell what he's going to play because it's going to be good, but he's going to play his new song off of his new project.
That project, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. So I went to, at the Quartet convention.
Yeah.
There were two things that I had to leave that building with, and one of them, I won't mention the other, but one of them was Josh's project, and it's incredible.
There's not a song on there that and Josh has been a friend for years, and Tribute has too as well, and they'll be there. Josh has just got that way of worshiping and playing at the same time. It's just incredible to see him do it.
Amazing talent, amazing gift. So okay, so I'm seeing Sue and Jeff. Talk about them for a second.
Oh, Lord, everybody loves Sue and Jeff. It doesn't matter. This will be like their third year, I think. Sue's a great singer. I mean,
absolutely.
And Jeff's a great piano player. I mean, he's just a great piano.
Oh, phenomenal.
And so they've worked, been married all these years, and he's played for her since before they even got married. So they're like one person when they sing, and she sings and he plays. So
what was crazy, we were talking one time, they were with Sammy Hall back in the day.
Back in the day.
My mom and dad bought a bus off Sammy.
Oh, cool.
And I was talking with Jeff one day, I think at the Dunking for Dementia. Mm-hmm. And we got to talking about that bus. I said, did you travel on that? But he said, you know what? Right when we joined, he had sold that bus. I said, well, I can tell you where it went. It went to Ohio.
It went to Ohio.
But and hilarious. Sue is so stinking funny.
She is funny, but I'm gonna tell you, she can sing. I Heard the Bells. It is incredible when she sings I Heard the Bells. Right. I'm telling you, on Christmas Day, it is incredible. So you've got Sue and Jeff, and then you mentioned Tribute will be there. Yeah, Tribute will be there.
And they're there like every year, right?
Yeah, they've been there every year except one. One time there was a conflict.
Okay.
But Riley Harrison Clark's going to be there, and
Okay.
he's been there every year. He and the Tallies have never missed a year this entire time.
Man,
So,
another. Well, with Roger not being there, will Deb be there or?
oh, Deb's going to be. Oh yeah,
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Good.
Deb's been helping us for the last month get stuff ready. So she's on our board.
Okay.
So oh yeah, she's going to be there.
And then
Last year, Deb, Sue, and I sang as a trio. I'm telling you, it was called the Trio Train Wreck because really it was on the podcast, but it was the train wreck because we didn't think about you can't sing in three parts on a Zoom call. It just doesn't work, you know. So we redeemed ourselves, so to speak,
live.
last year.
Gotcha.
Live. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
The Polarity Express, I guess. I don't know. We'll give you. I'll come up with a name.
I'm sure you will.
So Lauren will be there, correct?
Lauren will be there,
okay.
And Lauren and Billy Blackwood's going to sing a song together.
So Billy will be there.
Billy gonna be there.
Billy's there. I'm seeing Gene McDonald.
Yes, and I had a long meeting with Gene because I met Gene. This is so funny. Years ago, he was a kid. With J.D. Sumner in Monroe, Louisiana, or one of those towns in Louisiana for a Christmas show. You know, J.D. would not sing Christmas music. He just, only thing he'd sing was Blue Christmas. I'll have a blue Christmas. That's the only song he thought lived. Well, it was cold, so cold. So they called me on the bus and asked me would I go to Walmart and get some thermal underwear because they weren't dressed for a cold spell in Louisiana, you know. And so I had to go to Walmart and bought all these long johns for them to wear or they were going to freeze to death. It was outside on the trailer. I mean, there was no covering. And so one of them was Gene McDonald. He was just a kid, but he was driving that bus for JD.
The glamorous life of gospel music.
Yeah. And so that kid come out and got on that stage because JD wouldn't sing. So he got to take JD Sumner's place.
Wow.
Singing those Christmas songs.
Wow.
And I looked at him that day thinking, what an honor. What he will remember that till the day he dies, not knowing what would take place. You know, that was before the Florida Boys. So that what was going to happen in his life. And so we talked about that. We went and had coffee the other day. And I said, can you believe here we sit, both of us old, getting old, and that time that we would meet again. That's just how God is.
Absolutely.
For this purpose, his wife volunteers and his son at the veranda. It's just amazing how all of these people that sing, Tony Clay, for instance, Tony's been a caregiver 5 different times. She just lost her husband, Vic, you know, and Vic was a huge producer with the cathedrals. And of course, Tony, the singer, piano player herself, producer, and she sang with Mickey Gilley all those years, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful woman. And so when you meet all these people that you've seen and they come together in one accord to help somebody, I'm humbled by all of it, actually.
So
I sometimes have to pinch myself, and then
absolutely
and I go, how did all this orchestrate out? I've known the Tallies 40 years. Well, you know, it's about relationships.
Absolutely. And I'm still looking at two faces. Let's talk about them. And then let's talk on relationship real quick. I see Paul Secord.
Paul is here's why. I have a group of ladies. When I call Paul, I have a group of ladies that love classical music. Well, after the music school this year, and I heard him sing again, you know, I thought that's, you know, so I texted him and asked him would he come, and I said, but you've got to sing Ave Maria or I'm going to have women mad at me from you know, they want to hear something like Ave Maria because there's some people in our world that don't know what Southern gospel is, but at Christmas they love Ave Maria, and I don't know what else he's going to do, but he is going to do Ave Maria.
And then the last face I'm looking at is someone that loves you dearly. He tries on a weekly basis to acknowledge you and give you love on social media.
Yes, he does.
He was responsible for your article a couple months back in the Singing News, and I'm talking about Danny Jones.
Danny Jones. Oh, Danny. I actually texted him a while ago. You know, Danny called me one time about his mom. His mom was really sick. She had dementia. He was an only child. I have an only child. The only child syndrome with dementia is a rough road. It's a rough road because
Right.
there's no other siblings who, if it's a girl or a boy, you're just there. You're the only
Right.
child. And so I get how he felt. I know how I know as a mother how I felt that I don't want Matt. I don't want to take everything away from Matt's life to take care of me. Yet that's how it is sometimes.
Right.
That's, you know. And so Danny had lost his dad, and now he was losing his mom, and he asked me some questions, and we ended up just me trying to help him figure out the maze of healthcare. What is it like to have dementia? What is it like to die with dementia? What does this mean? What does that mean? And so, yeah, Danny and I've become good friends and pals, and of course he's meaner than a snake sometimes. I'm hoping Christmas will soften him a little. Maybe he don't have no much hair, and he doesn't. He's kind of got that Santa Claus look to him. He's got that twinkle in his eye. So I'm hoping when it gets closer towards the holidays, he'll take a new leaf in life, and the kindness will come out of him in the holidays. But
I'm sure there'll be some moments
I'm
of
sure.
cheer, some
I'm
moments of
sure.
cheer come out that night.
I'm
So
sure.
let's do
I'm sure.
this. I'm going to call an audible. We had talked about talking about something, but honestly, I feel this is more important because I had this revelation during CNS 23, Mary Anne, and what I'm looking at on this poster. Talk about the significance of relationships and cultivating relationships. Okay, so let's do this. Here's how we twisted this into the music side of things. Talk about the importance of relationships personally, and then how that benefits you and your ministry at the end of the
Professionally.
day. Right.
Personally, life is built of relationships, period.
Right.
And it's funny you bring this up because I've written a new book that's called, it's a relationship based care. It's called a positive perspective to dementia. And it just came out. Well, it hasn't really come out. We haven't released it, but it is up and ready to roll.
Okay.
And it's about relationship based care and how you can't take care of someone if you don't know them. You can't love somebody if you really don't know them.
Right.
You can't have a friendship with someone until you get to know someone. The first year I was at music school, I didn't have a relationship with anybody but Jeff, really. And
Right.
guess who wasn't there?
Right.
Jeff,
Right.
And so my relationship with Jeff is what got me to be there, which caused the relationship with us and your
Yep.
mom and your family and the
Yep.
whole rest of the school. Life is built upon relationships. And if we do not understand that as Christians, it's all about relationships, personal. And then it rolls over like with Danny Jones and the story in the Singing News and what a great asset that has been to help me. And
Right.
people, people know me that I don't even know, but that doesn't mean we can't have a relationship. We still have a relationship just by reading that article. They know who I am. And Danny's jump started that. He just, that was a huge event for us. But it's also a relationship of love and admiration and respect, just like at music school. It's all
Right.
about respecting each other's perimeters and things that they like, different styles of music. I think that's why we get
Sure.
in trouble, is that we don't respect and have relationships with everyone unless they're just like we are.
Right.
Well, I love Ave Maria.
Sure.
I loved Mickey Gilley, as far as his music. I was a Texas girl. How can you live in Texas and not like Mickey Gilley? I don't think that makes me a bad person. I just
Not
think I
at all.
loved that piano. I loved that style of music. I just thought he was a great singer. His lyrics were great. Well, but it was country music. So I think it all has to do with the relationships, and everybody on that platform
Right.
has been a relationship, some with me, like Deb and them, 40 years. I held Lauren in my lap before she got up to go sing when Kirk and all of them were singing. So I know,
Right.
I've known the Tallies even during the cathedral days.
Right.
Roger Bennett, Mark Trammell, all
Right.
of those people that makes Deb Bennett one of my dearest friends now. You just never know when God puts somebody in your life how it's going to turn out. And so as far as the veranda's concerned, Gene McDonald, perfect
Right.
example. Who would have
Right.
known we'd be sitting there? But it's relationships I believe that God makes. It's not that I make the relationship with
Right.
you or you make it with me. God places us in the right place at the right time for
Yep.
relationships that last a lifetime.
I like to
And
call those kingdom connections.
kingdom connections.
He
It's
brings
those
people together.
aha moments that
Yep.
there's no denying who's in charge of creating that. But our relationship is with Christ as well. And so at
Right.
Christmas, our relationship isn't, we love the gifts and the things like that, but it's really about a relationship with that baby born in a manger. And if we don't have that relationship with that baby born in the manger, life isn't really that grand for us. But for those of us who do, and worship him at Christmas, to get a bunch of friends together for a cause that's near and dear to me. Plus, it just humbles me and makes me cry when I sit there and look at how God has taken a girl from Hope, Arkansas, who lived in a little town called Columbus and went to a one-room church. And if you could see it, there's a stained glass window in front of my computer, behind my computer, that came out of the church I was raised in. When a storm blew it down, the
Wow.
only stained glass that was left was the Evans side, which was my maiden name. And
Okay.
so it's hanging on my wall. And every morning when I get up and when I go sit at this computer, I'm reminded of that little one-room church that I learned about Jesus
How
in.
cool is that?
And they let me sing at 6 years old and 5 years old. And my brother and I got to sing. It was a relationship. It was a relationship with that group of people.
Well, let's see. When you were 5 and 6, that was well before like PA systems and stuff.
I didn't have to have one. I've always had a big mouth. I
Well,
could
yeah.
always belt it out.
That that would have been the more polite way to say to belt it. I will
Well,
go. I will track with you on the big mouth part of things.
I'm sure you will, but it's still the truth. It's
No,
still
you're
the
right.
truth.
So here's the cool thing. I think when God connects us together like that, when we cultivate relationships, it's because it's not about us. It's not
No,
about me. It's about what can we do together. Hey, let's
right.
link arms. Let's work in this. That's what I love about our current staff, Mary Anne. Nobody's in this for themselves. It's, hey, what can we do to help the Charlestonville School of Music reach more people? What can we do
Exactly.
to help train up people to be more effective in their ministry so they can spread the gospel to more people? And I look at it this way, and I look at this poster as I'm looking at it right now, and I definitely see this. It's the whole deposit withdrawal philosophy.
It is.
You can't ask these people to come and be part of this event and make that withdrawal if you've not personally made some deposits in the relationship with them. So,
Right.
it's special to me. I'm excited to be part of this because these are all great people. They're people, a lot of them I know. I don't know Tony that well. I obviously knew Vic and everything that he did, but excited to meet her. I think maybe a couple years ago, was Roger Bennett's wife there at
Yeah,
the,
Deb was there, and she'll
yeah,
be there this year.
I
Yeah.
think I remember talking to her, and
Yeah.
what, just the best of the best. And so I have attended this thing a couple times, and you all, it is first class. Mary Anne does great. The decorations, the presentation. You remind me of my mom. Growing up, Christmas morning was so frustrating. It would take us 10 minutes to get that bow off that package.
Right.
It's all about the presentation, but listen,
Well, now
you
let
all,
me tell you something funny about that. She'll laugh at this. My son, if there's 100 packages under the tree, he'll go, Mom, wrap that.
yeah,
Mom, wrap that
yeah,
one. I
exactly.
know that wrapping anywhere. I know those bows. I know it, so hey, I get that.
No, but listen, it's beautiful. It's festive. It's the entertainment. We've talked about the people that are going to be there. It's a ticketed event, correct?
It is.
So people can reserve seats online. What's that
Yes.
web address?
It's at verandaministries.org, and down on that front page it'll say 2023 Christmas benefit. You click on, you can buy your tickets there.
Okay, so the verandaministries.org.
Right.
It is Monday night, November 27th
Yes.
at
Three
7
Oaks
p.m.
Church.
Well, hang on. There's a lot going on. 5 p.m.
Yeah.
There's a silent auction.
Yes.
5 p.m. the coffee bar.
Yes. Wassail.
What's wassail?
You don't know what wassail is?
Oh, wait,
Wassail?
that's that drink stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
the hot,
Okay.
the apple cider and stuff.
Gotcha.
Wassail, and then
Hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa, yeah.
Hot cocoa. And then
cookies.
Christmas cookies.
Yep.
Christmas cookies. So
and let me tell you something. The lady that's making those Christmas cookies, husband
Yeah.
is on hospice right now,
Oh,
and she's
no.
getting ready to make cookies for us. That's why
Bless
the
her
veranda.
heart.
I know.
Bless her
families
heart.
are thankful for it, so it's a big deal for the families too.
Well, listen, guys, if you're anywhere near Nashville, again, it's in Gallatin, which that's on the north end of Nashville, Three Oaks Church, 302 Douglas Bend Road in Gallatin. Again, Monday night, November 27th, come out and be part of this. You can reserve your seats online at www.verandaministries.org. Mary Anne, I'm super excited about it. It's going to be fun. Mom's coming up with me, and
I know I can't.
I know she's thoroughly going to enjoy it. Hey, thank you for your time, Mary Anne. I appreciate you being on our podcast today. And listen, everybody, get behind things like this. We all win when we connect together, and we support each other, and we support these events. And when you do that, you're going to find out that it will make it be your best what, Mary Anne? Your best
day ever.
Best day yet and ever.
Ever.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to have to change the name of the podcast. It used to be Best Day Yet. We're going to have to, we're going to have to change it to Best Day Yet Ever.
Yeah. Ever.
Take
the R off. That's the correct. You can't sing an R.
Ever. Okay.
Ever.
Mary Anne, thank you. We'll talk soon. Okay.
All right.
Bye. All right. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Charles Novell School of Music podcast, The Best Day Yet. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the name the Charles Novell School of Music. And for more information on CNS and our upcoming events, like our online school, our weekend regional sessions, our creative coaching, and our pastor's retreat, you can visit us at our website at www.cnsmusic.com. As you've listened to this episode, we hope that you've gained some information that you can apply to your music and to your ministry to make today the best day yet.